Good afternoon, I'm Max Brantley with the Arkansas Times on Tuesday, October 21st, the second day of early voting for the November 4th general election. I mentioned early voting because there's a great deal of interest this year in turnout. If you've been paying attention, the Democrats say their hopes for holding on to seats in Arkansas depend on a big turnout, an unprecedented turnout even for a midterm election. They've spent a lot of money on a big operation of field offices to try and make that happen. Early reporting this morning in the Democrat Gazette indicated the turnout on the first day of early voting yesterday was about the same as on the first day of midterms 4 years ago. But the Democratic Party issued its own numbers later today that says, in fact, no, the turnout the first day was significantly higher, maybe 25% higher, with totals not in yet from all counties. Secretary of State's office has told me that the numbers they gave the Democrat yesterday were preliminary and given at 4 p.m. before early voting had ended for the day. So some of this we don't know for sure, and I don't want to put too much stock in any numbers. It still is going to be about turnout, but the Democrats did cite some specific counties, Pulaski, Faulkner, Washington, and Jefferson, all counties where the Democrats have made a big effort, where indeed the first day numbers were much higher yesterday than they were 4 years ago. So there is that. They need everything they can get. A poll that came out late yesterday by Talk Business and Hendrix College showed Tom Cotton with an 8.5-point lead over Mark Pryor in the race for U.S. Senate. That sounds high even to me, but it's a sobering number. Turnout will be the only way to turn that around. There was better news this morning in further polling from Talk Business and Hendrix College in the 4th Congressional District, where James Lee Witt, the very successful emergency services manager for President Bill Clinton and a great businessman, is challenging Bruce Westerman for the seat to succeed Tom Cotton, who's running for the U.S. Senate this year. That poll shows a virtual dead heat, a 2-point lead for Bruce Westerman, well within the margin of error, after showing something like a 14-point lead back in July. So that's good news for Democrats. A little bit of good news, I think, in the final gubernatorial debate last night on TV. Mike Ross got in some good points against Asa Hutchinson. Check our blog for a 15-second video snippet that's well worth your time. Asa Hutchinson bragged during the debate last night that he voted during his last year in Congress for the last balanced federal budget. Mike Ross had to laugh. He's been telling Bill Clinton about this. Of course, the last balanced budget was brought to the United States, not by Asa Hutchinson, but by a guy named Bill Clinton that Asa Hutchinson tried to throw out of office. Other news today, Mara Leverett, our senior editor and writer on the West Memphis Three case, had written a letter to Governor Mike Beebe asking him to exonerate the West Memphis Three, those men who were convicted, though they said they were innocent, of the killing of 3 West Memphis children in 1993. The governors responded to her request and said that because of the way the pardon process works, there's not a way that he could consider a pardon for them before he left office in January anyway. But in any case, they have to request a pardon to receive one. They haven't requested one as yet. That's something that may yet come. More legal developments today on the same-sex marriage case. It looks like that the Supreme Court may set as soon as this week and not long after the date for oral arguments in the appeal of the state case challenging the same-sex marriage ban. It would then rule within about 2 weeks after that. We may be looking at a decision from the state Supreme Court as early as the end of November. And in federal court, in a similar lawsuit, Judge Christine Baker has set a hearing November 20th on the plaintiff's detailed motion asking for a summary judgment from her striking down the law. These lawsuits have been successful all over the country. We have high hopes they'll be successful in Arkansas as well. One other piece of good news today, the state unemployment rate dropped a little bit in September, 1/10 of a point. It continues a downward trend. I'd recommend that you look at Ernie Dumas's column for this week's Arkansas Times, which I've also posted on our blog. It chronicles the really remarkable list of good things that have happened in the United States since Barack Obama became president. Gas prices have gone down, the stock markets have exploded, deficits have fallen, more people have health insurance. The list goes on and on and on. Don't try to tell anybody who's going to vote Republican this election, because they will not believe anything good ever came from Barack Obama. Facts are dangerous things, I know. I'm Max Brantley. I'll be back tomorrow.